Few figures in World War II embodied the spirit of relentless aggression. Quite like General George S. Patton Jr. clad in polished boots, ivory-handled pistols strapped to his hips, and wielding an often blunt vocabulary, Patton was a master of mechanized warfare genius with a singular, unyielding focus. Attack, always attack. He was both loved and loathed by his own side. His soldiers often revered him, seeing his energy as the key to victory. The Allied High Command frequently found him a political liability. His career was a tightrope walk between battlefield brilliance and career-ending controversy. Yet, when the Allied advance stalled, when a breakthrough was desperately needed, or when a massive strategic shift was required, there was only one man Eisenhower could rely on to deliver the impossible: Patton. This is the story of the general who fought a war on two fronts, against the German Wehrmacht on the field, and against caution and convention within the Allied command structure. Patton's road to command was long, stretching back to World War I, where he established himself as a pioneer of tank warfare. But his defining performance came in North Africa in 1943, after the humiliating American defeat at the Battle of Kasserine Pass, where German General Erwin Rommel routed the inexperienced U.S. forces. Patton was brought in to clean up the demoralized the Second Corps. He immediately instituted a policy of ruthless discipline and aggressive training. He demanded respect, meticulous maintenance, and above all, constant movement. Patton's leadership transformed the Corps. He led the Americans to their first major victory, against the Axis at El Qatar. His philosophy was forged here: speed, audacity, and keeping the enemy off balance. Following Africa, he commanded the U.S. 7th Army during the invasion of Sicily. His audacious race with the British General Montgomery to capture the key city of Palermo, and ultimately Messina, proved his ability to command an army at full throttle, sometimes to the chagrin of his superiors. Patton's aggressive style often clashed violently with compassion. In August 1943, during the Sicilian campaign, a controversy erupted that nearly ended his career. Patton visited to different army field hospitals and verbally and physically abused to shell-shocked soldiers suffering from what was then called shell shock or nerves, accusing them of cowardice. The news quickly leaked to the press, causing a major political crisis back home. President Roosevelt and General Eisenhower considered firing him, but realized his unique skills were too valuable. Patton was publicly reprimanded and stripped of field command for nearly a year. This period became known as his exile, a time when his genius was hidden, used only to fool German intelligence into believing he would command the main D-Day invasion force, Operation Fortitude. His enforced inactivity only intensified his desire for combat, a desire he finally unleashed when he was given command of the Third Army after the Normandy breakout. After the Normandy landings, the Allied advance bogged down in the hedgerows. It was Patton's Third Army that executed the massive breakthrough operation, known as Operation Cobra. Once free, Patton launched the most spectacular armored thrust of the Western Front. His tanks covered over 500 miles into weeks, trapping thousands of German soldiers in the Falaise pocket and liberating city after city, including vast swathes of France. His advance was so fast that his biggest obstacle became fuel. Allied logistics, designed for slower warfare, struggled to keep up with his pace. His defining moment came in December 1944 during the Battle of the Bulge. While other generals reacted slowly to Hitler's surprise attack, Patton demonstrated unmatched strategic agility. He famously disengaged his entire Third Army from its offensive, wheeled it 90 degrees north, and executed a forced march through deep snow to relieve the surrounded American troops at Bastogne. His army arrived on Christmas Day, saving the day and shattering the German offensive. Patton's Third Army was responsible for capturing or killing more German soldiers and liberating more territory than any other Allied force on the Western Front. He was a general who believed in the power of the offensive, often driving his troops and himself to the limit. After the war, his uncompromising opinions on the growing threat of the Soviet Union again led to controversy, and he was tragically killed in a car accident in December 1945. Patton's legacy remains complex, a man whose flaws were as great as his genius. Yet, His leadership cemented the image of the American fighting man, aggressive, fast, and ultimately unstoppable. He may have fought with the brass, but he fought to win, defining the decisive victory of the U.S. Army in the European theater.